It's not something you're lying. It's I don't have photo proof. Like I believe you.
Didn't I send it? Didn't I send it to you? Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
I'll look at it later. I'll look at it later. Not now. I
That was a
started.
long time ago, though.
My thing has started.
It's gonna take so long to.
I'll look at it later. I'll look at it later. Not now. I
That was a
started.
long time ago, though.
My thing has started.
Take so long to.
I'll look at it later. I'll look at it later. Not now. I'm started.
What was that?
Hmm.
Oh, nothing. I swear I thought I sent it to you. If I didn't, then I don't remember what live stream it was either.
It's a smooth operator. We're playing Stanley Parable. Ever played it? Anyone? Anyone's ever played it? The Stanley Parable? Sloke?
What?
You might want to watch my live stream. Sloke, you actually might like this game. That just
You
proves
said it
Sloke.
was boring.
What game?
The game you're playing, you said it was boring. That's why you wanted to be in a call.
No, I saw you get bored waiting. I mean, by myself talking to a game. Alright, Sloke, you should watch. Wait, that just proves that Sloke doesn't watch my stuff. Sloke!
What?
This just proves that you don't watch my stuff.
What are you talking about?
Watch my, like, live. You don't watch it. Alright, begin the game. What the heck? I'm so excited for this game. Sloke is gonna enjoy this if he watches.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Whoa.
When
Terrible.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult.
This narrator,
but the fact
someone
is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Okay. Wait, what? She... Oh. What the fuck?
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another.
Can you unplug it? Can you unplug it?
What? What's that?
There's a wire. Can you unplug it?
Get your first... Oh, I got a trophy for trying to jump. I
Is
spammed
that
it.
you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there
So
we
let's see if
go.
she has a gap.
All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about
Your damn.
Gotcha!
Oh, screw you!
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
What? No. Do I go in the apartment? Or I could skip out on...
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Oh, no, I'm in my story. He just said he's in my... what?
Hear everything twice.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
No. No. What if I don't press X? I mean, triangle. Oh, well, let's explore the room for a minute. Let's see what we're surrounded by here.
Can you try to go out the door?
No, he like locked me into a room. Hold on, there might be some secret things here, because there's no way this game just sits like... Fine.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From
I can't
behind
do
his
anything.
desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Okay.
And so he began to fantasize about his own
The
job.
TV disappeared.
First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought
What's up, Secret Devil?
excited him terribly.
What?
Yo, Total Gamer, how you doing, man?
You're live?
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
It's gonna go right or left?
Right.
As he wandered through
What?
this fantasy world, he began to fill it with
Okay,
many
no,
possible
something's happening.
paths
It's
and
like turning my thing into an
destinations.
office.
Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls.
Gaia, bro.
And
Hold
down
on,
another
so
was a
let me look
yellow
at this.
line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Looks like she's wearing some nice panties.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope
Stop
that
yapping,
it would
let me
never
in.
end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
He's not in there. Secret Devil's Toilet Gamer?
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed.
Oh,
The longer
okay.
he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer. That as long
I
as he
wanna
remains
leave.
here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every
did.
second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
I'm not gonna question it. Nope. No. I'm not pushing it.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want.
Ha! I didn't do it right. I clicked the
I don't
wrong
make the
button.
rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please die.
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Okay.
What the hell just happened?
Ever the ends. What?
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh, I died.
What
I
did it
messed up.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I guess I'm gonna go to the left this time and see what
When
happens.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Do I
Stanley
believe in
decided to go
organizations?
up to his
Okay.
boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
What is hot? Target demographic: teenagers. Profits, 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 profits. Things, money, more money, things but money to buy. More things, graphs that things plus money. We have our new product.
Hear everything like 3 times right
Everyone is unique. You most of all. Well, turn my thing down, like, on...
Coming to a staircase,
Oh, no,
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Yeah, I can't
Why
see
did
my
doors
feet.
close automatically behind him wherever he went?
True.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
What?
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it.
B4.
I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh,
A,
what a
B,
relief
1,
Stanley
1,
felt
1,
to
2.
have finally found an answer,
Okay.
an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone.
No,
He
it's
wasn't
caged
going
off.
to lose his
It's
job.
caged off.
He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go
1,
back to
2,
my boring
B4.
real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being
Shut
considered
up!
by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself?
What's
Believing
happening?
that if he's asleep,
Do
he
you see
doesn't have
this?
to take responsibility for himself?
He's just not letting me
Stanley
go.
is as awake
Let me
right now
out!
as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt,
He's making fun of
that
me.
this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just...
Oh, he's getting louder.
He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
What?
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake
Oh my
me up.
God.
My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice?
Oh my gosh.
Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
So you saw that, right?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
I was talking to myself on the sidewalk and passed out.
Call for an ambulance. For just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Whoa. No, that's crazy. That's crazy. There's no way that's how it ends. That's how it ends. That's how it ends. This is going to be crazy.
All of
This
his
game is
co-workers
something.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
Yeah, let's see what
memo.
happens if I do that.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his
And then
left.
this time, instead of going down, I'll go up. Skip the meeting. I don't care about the meeting.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he might coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the
Are you kidding me?
keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
What? Creepy? Creepy, creepy. Okay. This went from... Wait, did I die?
Descending deeper into the building,
I did it right.
Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Wait, what? Wait, no, I didn't think you actually...
Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up.
Ah! I messed up the narrator's
Why did Stanley
narrating.
do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Yeah, me too. I don't know why I did that. Personally, I just... Okay. Oh. Great, I can't go back down, Sloke.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Well, screw you! That's it. He just gets mad at me.
Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again.
Should I go
Ladies
back
and
up again and see what he says?
How does he keep coming up with all of this?
But I can go right back down. Alright. Narrator, I'm sorry, but...
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No.
Because the narrator changes them up.
To go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office
The narrator can't do it.
The suspense is killing me.
Alright, what's up here?
Oh my god. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
Yep, okay. Well... Okay. Come on, man. Come on. Come on! Come on, let me play!
Okay, I'm ready.
Oh,
I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process.
No, you don't! Stop! I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. So good. I think I messed him up. So what do I do?
All right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to you, of course, going back down in the elevator.
Okay,
How
I'm
did
gonna
I
try
not
this one last time,
anticipate it?
man.
I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no
What
frame
was
of
it?
reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air
This is not
in a
how slow it
landscape of
cooks.
storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
So should I try it one more time and then actually do it? Sloke, you don't understand. But it might give me an ending. Like a trophy, you know? Well, last time, I have to... Oh, it's gonna snap, isn't it? It's gonna kill me. He's not talking. Oh, I'm scared now. He's not talking.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, The agony of waiting and
Oh,
anticipating
crap.
and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow?
Oh,
There we
screw you! Oh,
Isn't this so much
no!
more exciting? You know,
Why?
Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They
Oh,
want big,
no.
explosive moments flung right
You
in
better
their
give
faces
me. Come
from
on,
the very
man.
moment that
I'm
things
sorry.
get started.
Me and Sloke were
But
just.
where's the tension?
He told me
Where's
what to
the
do, so I
trust in
look.
the
I should have
audience
listened.
to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises?
Sloke, help. What do I do?
To have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual
I'm sorry,
reveal.
man.
This
I
is
don't know what to do.
storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years. And it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley.
Yep.
I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why, oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling
You
and your
did?
life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This
Wait,
is the kind
this is
of
new.
gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on
No,
them
this
for
is
the
new.
better. Oh, good.
Oh.
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
Sloke. Sloke, what do I do?
Well, you get to walk on the red carpet because you're a celebrity now.
All eyes on Stanley, 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 live on stage. What?
Ah, yes. Here
Minecraft
it is,
door
just
opening
through this
sound?
door.
To a stage.
All right,
Welcome,
are you
Stanley.
ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry.
The
You'll do great.
storyteller,
Just be
Stanley.
yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get 'em.
Okay. I can't see anything. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Ow.
Celebrity cool cat.
Wha- What?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Okay, this time we're gonna go down the
Stanley
elevator.
decided to go to the
Just
meeting
messing up
room.
on certain
Perhaps
parts
he had
gives you
simply missed
endings.
a memo.
That ending was actually pretty good. So, wait,
When
so look, am I
Stanley
just
came
making
to a set
alternate
of two
copies of
open
myself?
doors, he entered the door on his left.
I feel like there's gonna be an ending where I have a copy of me.
Yet
Doing
there was not
something.
a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an
What?
answer there. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Oh, this is an ending. So, I think I found an ending.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't
Yeah,
even
I think
doing
there is something
anything.
here I can do.
At
There's
least
no
if
way
there
you
was
can
something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing?
Yep.
Why?
Because it makes you
Please
mad.
offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to
Are
the
you
story
sure? 'Cause, like-
whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
He's gonna do something to this room, so if
Maybe
he's gonna,
to you this is somehow its own branching path.
it's gonna do something. Yeah, he's gonna
Maybe
do something to
when
this
you
room.
go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Okay, well, he's not gonna like this again.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid.
Ha!
He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
He's just making fun of me. You're fat and ugly. You're stupid.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when
Yep,
a
you're right.
physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed in front of your screen. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them
talking
in on
like
the
in the
history
fourth
of
person.
narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway. Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
I think he's getting mad. I don't think he likes me at this point. He's gonna do something. It's like, this is the most anticipated ending. Is he not gonna do anything? Is he done with me? I think that, yeah, that's not gonna be an ending. Okay. Darn.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna have to do this now. Yeah. That's the same ending as last time. I just want to see if he'll say anything.
Stepping in.
What did I just do? What? Was I supposed to be able to escape his reality? Wait, am I can leave. Like, if he doesn't know I'm here, and he lost me, can't I just leave? And isn't the exit downstairs, look? One more time before I leave. Wait, what? The game's broken. What? What the fuck? What the heck? Did he, like... What's happening? What? Um. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to leave your room. No, it's not. These are different rooms. These are different rooms. 1757. 758. 758. 759. Escape pod launch bay. What the heck is going on? That's what the quote is. Wow. Okay.
All
So
of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't
No.
the right office, is
this
it?
isn't the right
Is
office.
this Stanley's office?
He doesn't know what's happening. Hold up, the ending's not over yet.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley Oh no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
I'll take my time, Stanley. I'll take my time, narrator. Doing what now? What do I do? I guess do what
Coming
it
to a
says.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Can't do anything in this part. Okay, so don't break the game. We've already done all the endings here, I feel like.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. If Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. So he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
You're messing with me here.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
What the heck? I guess go through the scary hallway, I guess. Yep, I know. Should I try doing it once to see if he gets mad? Like, he says, no, 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 not again. It's the Stanley parable. You have to make it work. Narrator, please say something new.
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually
Okay.
got back into
Okay,
the
so
elevator
he actually
and
doesn't
went
change
back
his
up.
mind.
Silly me.
So he
Why
does
did
eventually repeat
Stanley
himself.
do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office?
Alright, we're done doing
That's
this.
a great question.
We know what to,
I
we
just
know how to go
can't
down
wait
now. We're gonna
find
go back
out.
down. We're gonna run through the hallway. I don't think that. Okay, so doesn't he eventually get mad and just lock me in here and make me a professional? Hello?
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is.
Yep, I'm sorry, man.
What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling.
Can
that
you let me
have.
go?
An
I need to
incisive,
go
rapid
downstairs.
fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat. Incredible.
Okay.
Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Time to go down the scary hallway. Are you gonna play Fortnite on this stream? What do you mean? Yeah, I
Surely
will.
This time,
Later.
Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Hold up. Sloke, which way do I go? Sloke. I could go through Escape or Mind Control Facility. That's where he wants me to go. I'll do that. I'll do the escape area next.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
What the heck did you do? So look what happened.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
All these are Stanleys. They're just watching over us.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
What? No, I like this facility. I like the idea. Are these buttons all around?
And when at last he...
Oh my god, that scared me. Holy, I turned it off. Okay.
Blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness.
What?
Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
What?
No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Let's go. I beat the game. It says I earned the trophy, beat the game, Sloke. Is there any trophies I can get on this? Let me view the trophies, guys. Okay, guys, here we go.
All of his co-workers were
I quit the game and did it again.
All of his co-workers. Already, this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life. All of his co-workers.
He just can't keep on holding me here. If I keep on resetting, he has.
All of his co-workers.
This is one of the trophies. Literally, I'm resetting.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Yeah, but there's hold on, guys, you might not hear me for a minute. I'm testing something.
$508 is gonna take to do my truck. Look at. Yeah, Dad told me. Oh man, I'm a broke bitch, and I got no more money in my pocket.
Hold on. Sloke, it says that there's a trophy called Don't Super Go Outside. Don't play the Stanley Parable for 10 years.
There's a wait, hold up, a what? Sorry, I didn't hear you. There's a what?
Super Go gold trophy. It says Super Go Outside. Don't play Stanley Parable for 10 years. I think it's a thing in the game that I have to do.
You gotta wait 10 years to get that damn trophy. That is so
Click on a door 430. Oh my gosh, I had to click on a door that many times.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go
He
up
locked
to
the
his
broom
boss's
closet, Sloke!
office, hoping he might find an answer there.
He locked the broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We're not gonna do this trophy. I'm not doing trophy hunting on this game. I just want to see the ending.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons.
Oh, he's just skipping to
hey,
it.
Look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
The narrator's really stopped talking to me recently, so like, I'm lonely. He just stopped. Oh, okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Mind control facility.
The lights rose on an enormous
I'm not at the
room
exit
packed
right
with
now.
television screens.
I can't go back to.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
This time I'm
Did he have
enabling
the
the time
strength
machine
to find out?
see what happens. Because last time, Sloke, I got a trophy for beating the game. Like, you know, quote unquote beating the game, you know?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Yeah,
After
I did.
they
I
kept you
activated the mind
enslaved
control
all
machine.
these
I
years,
turned it
you
off
go
last
you
time
tried
and
to
it
take
worked.
control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. but I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not?
Yo!
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Wow. You really just killed me. The end is never really the end. You kidding me?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
New content?
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I just want new content, man. Listen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Listen, it just said new content, you know.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
That's what I'm playing right
Oh,
now.
well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but
Oh,
I'm
yeah?
sure it's
Okay, I'm
just the
excited.
beginning of a mesmerizing
new-
adventure.
Exciting elevator.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally,
What?
at long last, it's on to the new content.
So,
I've
are you
never
watching?
been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable
hear me on
Ultra
the call?
Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if them... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
I'm not even jumping.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Maybe I go back. No, this is not like a glitch spot I can do anything in. There's nothing else to do. What? Wow, so... What?
Goodness. Another elevator.
Oh, we're going up
Stanley,
again.
I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this
Yes.
is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Okay, so it doesn't really have to troll the narrator. He just wants to see what's going on. The narrator's more excited.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
I didn't get an option. Oh, this is not the map glitched into another map. The map glitched. Sloke, Sloke, what do I do? No, the map glitched into another map. That's why everything's so buggy. It's like floating lights.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Yeah, I don't want to go back to my office. I don't want to go back to my office job. Hold on. Checking the door. And then, okay, the vent's the last thing. Oh, okay. He's showing me something new.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? But it got
Yeah.
me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special
Whoa.
and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a
Whoa.
look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched?
I didn't play
Back
it.
then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Is that me laying down?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created.
Literally
It
every
was
game.
Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now...
Skyrim?
it's
Okay, you
nothing.
don't compare to Skyrim.
It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Okay. You sound disappointed. You sound devastated that the Stanley Parable is now what it is. Person of the Year goes to Stanley. There's him and that girl.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise. These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly,
Dang.
I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
I'm sorry, man. This game is kind of bad.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
Oh.
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today,
my.
and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customers.
Yeah, no, you are
Yes,
definitely
a skip button we shall have.
hurting right now because you just made a whole big POI about this. No, I don't want to skip you, man. I enjoy your company. Okay, what time is it
And
right
here
now?
it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my
1 hour.
incessant droning starts to bore you with... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of... Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Pressurized Gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest,
But
I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works. Perhaps that would have been a smart thing to check on before I went on
But
about
look,
this
he's
whole
trying to
exercise
ramble,
of
and I
making
feel
a skip
bad for him.
button.
He's been getting...
Although I... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was...
We're at
well, I
2
would say
a.m.
maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unenjoyable. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Huh.
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back.
What
Oh,
the
my
flip?
goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so
Oh, yeah.
much time.
I'm sorry, man. I just, it's been a while, and So much rambling. Al?
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed,
Oh,
they
here we
gnashed
go.
their
I haven't
teeth and
heard
said,
him about it.
entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But
Does he give me
then,
a trophy
he's
for
talking
listening?
too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of...
Narrator? Come back.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is
Oh,
never
you-
the end,
you're
is never
saying-
the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
You are going on the rant about the game. The end is never the end. Well, it's been a while, hasn't it? Buildings in ruin. Oh, whoa! Sunlight. I actually haven't seen this. Yeah. Where'd the narrator go, Slook? Vegetation's growing on it. It's making me a staircase out. Huh? It's back to normal, no vegetation. Yo, what the flip? I can't click it. Not my ability to, I can crouch. No, it's disabled. What the heck? Oh, I can see mountains in the distance. Trees. Oh my lord. I bet I got the trophy. No.
All of his co-workers were gone.
What do
could
you
it
mean,
mean?
bro?
Stanley
Ugh,
decided to
didn't give
go
me
to the
anything.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Maybe there's a thing on the... I don't care right now. Hello, new content.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
You made some new content? After they already made some new content. Oh. You made your own new content.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable.
Oh,
and
he's been
about
reflecting.
how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
What?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
Okay.
I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than... Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Hear your name out loud.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people.
Jim.
So with that sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim.
Jim.
But of course,
Jim.
in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of
No,
this
I want
feature.
my name
Just
said.
play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
No. I don't like your new game, man. I'm not Jim, okay? I choose that I want to be my own character. I don't want to leave. I don't want to be Jim. One of these... No. My gamer tag is Cool Cat. Just say my name right. My character's name on this game is not Jim. Exit here. He won't let anyone leave. Like, you have to be what he wants you to be. Okay, Jim.
Jim.
Yes, you see? What a
I
thrill,
hate
what a
you.
rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Oh, me? Okay.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time.
Yep, I heard
If this
it.
were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money.
No, it
Let's
wouldn't
take
be.
a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Jim.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim.
Oh, you
I'm
don't like
putting
the Jim button.
away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense
Jim.
of who you
Jim.
actually are.
Jim.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, Jim's back. Jim's back. Yeah. Sorry, it's... Okay, once I walk out of this room, my name's not Jim anymore, apparently. He just doesn't want me to... Alright, I'm me again.
I suppose I could allow only people
Whoa.
named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually
I felt
save
like
me
Jim
the work of
over
finishing
there.
this feature.
Wait, what's this? There is.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Are you kidding me? That's extremely devastating.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
No screenshots? Alright.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Happy 12th birthday, Stephanie.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday.
What?
It is.
I didn't choose that one, though.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on. Come now, you've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
What? Hold on. Hey, Jim, I'm back. No, Jim, you're Jim. Okay, screenshot. I'm taking a screenshot. Okay. Merch. You guys are selling merch? I apparently don't get any. What the flip? What is this?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting.
Mom, bro.
You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me
So
than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, Give it a try.
Whoa.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of
I have a
crushing
bucket.
despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it
It's
has
just
made
a
you the
bucket.
slightest bit more attractive as a person.
I'm attractive
The
when
benefits
holding a
of the bucket seem
bucket.
to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2. Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Yeah, this is really a cool convention you got. You're just showing off your new game that you don't understand at all. I'm gonna go back for that trophy now. What video are you editing, Silk? Huh, imagine. Yo, I can't get that trophy, bro. I need that trophy from you, Stanley. Hold on. I might mute here in a second.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video game. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
I have a bucket.
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
Why
don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
But I like this hole. This is my favorite. Every pause button is a Roman numeral 2. No, it is not. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just... What?
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you... Oh, for heaven... You see? I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there, goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled.
Yay!
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing.
Down here.
What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my life. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working?
It's not working.
You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Come back. No, I can't do anything. He left me. Stanley? It's getting deeper. Please. Narrator, it's back. We're going down. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. You can have your cigarettes back. Narrator. Narrator, listen. I shouldn't have made fun of. Narrator. What's happening? Okay.
Stanley! Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems
Huh?
you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
Wait. Come back? Oh no. No. Oh my god, please say that's it.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
I already tried out a bunch of your new features. Yeah, I should test that again, see if I can get it. I could go back to the hole. Should I go back to the hole? I'm testing it now. Should I go back to the hole afterwards to get in it? Bro's not allowing me to get that. Are you kidding me? Is there like a guy, the guy that's holding the trophy that has the trophy name on it? Can I just grab that? No. Okay. It doesn't say the infinite hole anymore. What? Everything's infinite hole. There we go. Wait, you locked it off. Screw, bro. What the flip? He locked it off. Whoa.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Bruh. So it literally just wants
God,
me
it
to
really
collect them.
is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
I'm ready to leave this. I'm done with your stupid thing. I don't know why you even want me to come here. I'm done, man.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
No screenshots, please, no screenshots.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. Well, I mean, there's potential here, right?
I like the hole.
Sort of. Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I
Two
kidding,
holes?
Stanley? This
I can do
isn't
that.
a coherent video
No, I
game
deal
at
with
all.
this.
It's a
I
lot
like
of
this.
gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than
add
anything
the
to create
whole
a
back
sequel that would
3
capture
times.
all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna let me play it? What? Okay. I like your idea, man.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Yeah.
Stanley worked for a company in a big
Yeah,
building
he has all the
where
balloons.
he was employee number...
What the?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps Stanley picked up the bucket.
Huh! What? What am I playing? There's nothing new.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Here's the infinite hole.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his bosses... Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion.
I'm sorry,
and
friends,
lifelong
but your
friend.
friends want you.
You can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I'd never.
Okay.
Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go
Leave me
through
alone.
each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket, as they have
Why
changed
is
and
it Stanley
evolved
Parable
over the
2?
years. Let him have it. Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
I can't put it down.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see, I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That
What?
way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you
So,
can
are
look
you
down
watching
at
this?
this sticker and say to
Do you
yourself,
see it? How
it's a
hard it's
bucket.
getting?
There really is a wide variety of
So,
applications
what am I
for
holding?
this sticker.
What does it say on it?
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
I like the stickers, but you asked me to have the bucket.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs
Stanley
to
in
the
the bucket.
boss's
You
office.
gave it a life.
You
What?
found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know,
This
there
game
really must
sucks.
be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Thanks, man. Get me now. I just have a bucket. I have a singular bucket. What the flip do you want me to do with this?
It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would
I'm sorry,
be
I can't.
right.
I
The
can't.
bucket is here for
I'm
you,
sorry.
Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Yep.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Yep. Well, I guess I'm dead.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be
The
sure,
bucket is
it
not
puts the mind and the
useless.
soul at ease to embrace the bucket. But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator,
What?
as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death. It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but
Oh,
this one
bucket.
stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
My bucket's gone. Slug my bucket. But much like it's buckets out here. Oh no.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Stanley, why would you kill a bucket, bro? Not even the player would do that.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket. But there is something we can do. Something we can do together,
It's a
you and
woman.
I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by
What?
the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Kidding me? The bucket is just a bucket. But it is pretty cool that you guys. Wait.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others. When Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Wait, I gotta keep the bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Oh jeez.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours.
Should I end?
But alas, no stickers.
Alright guys, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you for coming. And we'll do this again maybe tomorrow.